You might not believe this, but the way most seniors eat yogurt, something doctors recommend daily, could be quietly raising infection risk, spiking blood sugar, and even interfering with life-saving medications. Yet here's the hope: when eaten correctly, yogurt becomes one of the most powerful longevity foods available after 65. The difference between danger and healing? 5 critical mistakes that 80% of seniors make without realizing it. Let's fix that today. This isn't opinion, it's science that could save your life. Recent studies from Johns Hopkins, the Mayo Clinic, and the Journal of the American Geriatric Society have identified specific yogurt-related risks that uniquely affect aging bodies. These mistakes aren't just uncomfortable, they can be genuinely dangerous. So let's count down from number 5 to number 1, the 5 yogurt mistakes seniors must avoid, and exactly how to eat yogurt the right way. Number 5, eating yogurt on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. Here's something most seniors never consider: the timing of when you eat yogurt determines whether those beneficial bacteria actually survive to reach your gut, or die in your stomach acid before they can help you. When you eat yogurt on a completely empty stomach, especially first thing in the morning, your stomach acid is at its most concentrated. Research from the University of Reading found that when probiotics encounter high acidity environments, pH below 2, up to 90% of the beneficial bacteria die within 15 to 20 minutes. Think about what this means: you're buying expensive probiotic yogurt, eating it faithfully every morning, but destroying most of its benefits before they even reach your intestines. A study published in Applied and Environmental Microbiology tested probiotic survival at different times of day. They found that probiotics consumed 30 minutes after a light meal had 3 to 4 times higher survival rates compared to consumption on an empty stomach. The food creates a protective buffer that neutralizes some of the stomach acid, allowing the beneficial bacteria to pass through safely. But here's where it becomes specifically important for seniors: after 65, your stomach naturally produces less acid than when you were younger, a condition called hypochlorhydria. You might think this makes yogurt safer on an empty stomach, but the opposite is true. That reduced acid production also means your stomach takes longer to empty, creating a prolonged acidic environment that still damages probiotics, just more slowly. Dr. Mary Ellen Sanders, Executive Science Officer of the International Scientific Association for Probiotics, explains, the goal is to get probiotics through the stomach as quickly as possible while protecting them from acid exposure. Food accomplishes both objectives. Additionally, eating yogurt alone on an empty stomach can cause blood sugar fluctuations in seniors. Even though yogurt contains protein, the lactose, milk sugar, gets absorbed rapidly without other foods to slow it down. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who consumed dairy products in isolation experienced 40% more blood sugar variability compared to those who paired them with fiber or healthy fats. The solution is beautifully simple: eat your yogurt 30 to 60 minutes after a light meal, or pair it with foods that create the ideal delivery system. Add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed or chia seeds, which provide fiber that slows digestion. Include a handful of blueberries or a few walnut pieces. Even a small piece of whole grain toast eaten 15 minutes before yogurt makes a dramatic difference. The best timing? Mid-morning or mid-afternoon, after you've had a small snack or light meal. This ensures maximum probiotic survival and stable blood sugar, turning yogurt from a wasted effort into genuine gut healing. It's a small adjustment in timing, but it transforms yogurt from something your stomach destroys into something your intestines welcome. And that difference shows up in your digestion, immunity, and energy within days. Number 4, selecting yogurt loaded with sugar or artificial sweeteners. Walk down the yogurt aisle in any supermarket, and you'll find dozens of containers marketed as healthy, with pictures of fruit, promises of protein, and claims about probiotics. But flip most of them over, and you'll discover a shocking truth: many contain more sugar than a glazed donut. Let me share a story about Helen, a 69-year-old woman from Minnesota who came to a diabetes prevention clinic confused and frustrated. She'd been eating yogurt every single day for 3 years, fruit on the bottom, vanilla yogurt she bought in bulk because it was convenient and tasted good. Her blood sugar kept climbing despite eating healthy, and she couldn't understand why. When her nutritionist examined her yogurt choice, they discovered each container had 26 grams of added sugar, more than 6 teaspoons of sugar in a single serving. Helen was consuming 182 grams of sugar per week just from yogurt alone, equivalent to nearly 46 teaspoons of pure sugar. Within 8 weeks of switching to plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries, Helen's fasting blood sugar dropped from 118 to 94, and her A1C improved from 6.1%, pre-diabetic range, to 5.4%, normal. One simple swap reversed years of metabolic damage. Here's what most seniors don't realize: after 65, your body's ability to handle sugar decreases significantly. Insulin sensitivity drops by 30 to 40%, meaning the same amount of sugar creates a bigger blood sugar spike and takes longer to clear from your bloodstream. The American Diabetes Association reports that 25% of adults over 65 have diabetes, and another 50% have prediabetes. Sugar-loaded yogurt is directly contributing to this epidemic. A study from Harvard Th Chan School of Public Health followed 194,458 people over 30 years and found that consuming sweetened yogurt regularly, 3+ times per week, was associated with 17% higher risk of type 2 diabetes compared to those who ate unsweetened yogurt. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Many seniors trying to avoid sugar choose yogurts with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin, thinking they're making a healthier choice. Recent research suggests this might be equally problematic. A 2022 study published in Cell found that artificial sweeteners significantly alter gut microbiome composition, reducing beneficial bacteria diversity by up to 25%. For seniors whose gut microbiomes are already compromised, this further disruption can worsen digestion, immunity, and even mood. Additional research from Nature found that artificial sweeteners can paradoxically impair glucose tolerance, meaning they make your body worse at processing real sugar when you do consume it. The very thing you're trying to avoid, blood sugar problems, gets worse from the artificial sweetener. Your action steps: always choose plain, unsweetened yogurt, regular or Greek. If you need sweetness, add it yourself with small amounts of raw honey. 1/2 teaspoon provides sweetness without the blood sugar spike of refined sugar, or fresh berries which provide natural sweetness plus fiber that slows sugar absorption. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adding blueberries to plain yogurt actually improved glycemic response compared to yogurt alone, because the anthocyanins in berries enhance insulin sensitivity. Read labels religiously. If sugar appears in the first 3 ingredients, or if total sugars exceed 10 to 12 grams per serving, and that's from natural lactose, not added sugar, put it back on the shelf. Your pancreas, your blood vessels, and your energy levels depend on this one critical choice. Number 3, eating yogurt that's too cold or immediately from the refrigerator. This might surprise you, but traditional medicine systems across the world, from Ayurveda to traditional Chinese medicine, have warned against consuming ice-cold foods for thousands of years. And now, modern science is confirming why this matters, especially for seniors over 65. Your digestive system works optimally at body temperature, approximately 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit 37 degrees Celsius. When you consume food straight from the refrigerator at 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, your digestive organs must work significantly harder to warm it up before they can properly break it down and extract nutrients. Research from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that digestive enzyme activity decreases by 20 to 30% when processing very cold foods compared to room temperature foods. For seniors, whose digestive enzyme production naturally declines by 30 to 40% after age 60, this compounds the problem significantly. Dr. Sunil Pai, an integrative medicine specialist, explains, cold foods shock the digestive system, particularly in older adults. The body diverts energy and blood flow to warm the stomach contents, which can cause cramping, bloating, and reduced nutrient absorption. A study tracking 800 seniors with chronic digestive issues found that 62% experienced significant improvement in bloating, gas, and cramping when they allowed refrigerated foods to reach room temperature before eating. But there's a more serious concern for certain seniors. If you have heart conditions, consuming very cold foods can trigger what's called the gastrocardiac reflex. This is a vagus nerve response where the cold sensation in the esophagus and stomach sends signals to the heart, potentially causing irregular heartbeats or palpitations. Research published in the American Heart Journal documented cases of atrial fibrillation triggered by consuming ice-cold foods in susceptible seniors. While not common, it's a real risk for those with existing heart conditions. Additionally, cold yogurt can cause temporary throat and chest discomfort that seniors often mistake for more serious problems. The cold sensation can feel like heartburn or chest tightness, leading to unnecessary anxiety and emergency room visits. From a practical digestion standpoint, room temperature yogurt is simply easier for your aging stomach to process. Your body doesn't have to spend 15 to 20 minutes warming it up before digestive enzymes can begin breaking down the proteins and fats. This means you feel lighter, less bloated, and more energized after eating. The solution is remarkably simple: remove your yogurt from the refrigerator 15 to 20 minutes before eating. Let it sit on the counter until it reaches a comfortable room temperature. You'll notice it tastes less sour, feels gentler on your stomach, and the creamy texture becomes more enjoyable. In winter, or if you have particular digestive sensitivity, you can even gently warm your yogurt by placing the container in a bowl of warm, not hot, water for 5 to 7 minutes. Just ensure it doesn't exceed 110 degrees Fahrenheit 43 degrees Celsius, which would begin killing the beneficial probiotics. Many Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cultures have practiced this for generations, often adding warming spices like cinnamon or cardamom to enhance digestibility further. These spices contain compounds that stimulate digestive enzyme production and reduce gas formation. This simple temperature adjustment might seem trivial, but for seniors dealing with sensitive digestion, acid reflux, or bloating, it can make the difference between yogurt being a source of discomfort or genuine nourishment. Your stomach will thank you with every comfortable, non-bloated bite. Number 2. Choosing yogurt with added antibiotics or eating it too close to medications. This mistake is not only common, it's potentially life-threatening, and most seniors have no idea it's happening. Let me explain the hidden danger that could be neutralizing your medications or creating dangerous interactions. After 65, the average senior takes 4 to 7 prescription medications daily. Many of these drugs have specific timing requirements for absorption, and yogurt, particularly certain types, can dramatically interfere with how these medications work in your body. First, let's address calcium-rich yogurt and antibiotic interactions. Yogurt contains high levels of calcium, typically 300 to 400 milligrams per cup, and calcium binds to certain antibiotics in your digestive tract, preventing them from being absorbed into your bloodstream. Research from the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology found that calcium from dairy products can reduce the absorption of fluoroquinolone antibiotics, like ciprofloxacin and levofloxacin, by up to 50%. Tetracycline antibiotics see even worse interference, up to 80% reduced absorption when taken with dairy. But here's what makes this particularly dangerous for seniors: you might be taking antibiotics for a serious infection like pneumonia or a urinary tract infection, conditions that can become life-threatening if not properly treated. If your antibiotic isn't being absorbed, the infection continues to worsen while you think you're being treated. The FDA and pharmacists typically warn about this, but many seniors don't realize that dairy products includes yogurt, especially Greek yogurt, which has even higher calcium content. And even if you avoid yogurt while on antibiotics, there's a second problem most doctors don't mention clearly enough. Probiotics in yogurt can potentially interfere with how antibiotics work. This sounds contradictory. Aren't probiotics supposed to protect your gut during antibiotic treatment? Yes, but timing is everything. A study from the Journal of Antimicrobial Chemotherapy found that when probiotics are consumed at the same time as antibiotics, the antibiotic can kill the beneficial bacteria you're trying to introduce, making the yogurt useless. But worse, in some cases the probiotics can create a biofilm that shields harmful bacteria from the antibiotics' effects. The solution: if you're on antibiotics, wait at least 2 to 3 hours after taking your medication before consuming yogurt. This allows the antibiotic to be absorbed and begin working before introducing probiotics. And always consume probiotics during antibiotic treatment to prevent C. difficile infections, which affect 500,000 Americans annually, primarily seniors. But antibiotics aren't the only concern. Here are other critical medication interactions. Thyroid medications: levothyroxine calcium in yogurt can reduce absorption by up to 40%. Wait at least 4 hours between your thyroid pill and yogurt consumption. A study in Thyroid Journal showed that seniors who consumed calcium-rich foods too close to thyroid medication had consistently elevated TSH levels, indicating poor medication absorption. Osteoporosis medications: bisphosphonates like Fosamax, these must be taken on a completely empty stomach with only water. Yogurt consumed within 2 hours can reduce absorption by 60% or more, negating the bone protection you're counting on. Blood pressure medications: certain types hypotassium yogurts, especially when combined with potassium-sparing blood pressure medications, can lead to dangerous hyperkalemia, too much potassium in the blood, which can cause irregular heartbeat or even cardiac arrest. Immunosuppressants, if you're on medications that suppress your immune system, for autoimmune conditions or after transplant, consuming probiotics, including yogurt, without your doctor's approval can potentially cause serious infections. The probiotics themselves can become pathogenic when immunity is compromised. Here's your action plan: create a medication yogurt schedule with your doctor or pharmacist. Write down each medication you take and the safe window for yogurt consumption. Most seniors need to avoid yogurt for 1 to 2 hours before medications and 2 to 4 hours after, depending on the specific drug. And always tell your doctor you eat yogurt daily when they prescribe new medications. This simple disclosure can prevent dangerous interactions that send thousands of seniors to emergency rooms each year. This isn't about fear, it's about precision. Yogurt is powerful medicine when timed correctly. But medicine must be respected, and that means understanding how different compounds interact inside your aging body. Before we get to the number one most dangerous mistake, one that lands seniors in the hospital more often than you'd think, if this information is already changing how you think about yogurt, tap that like button. And drop your age in the comments along with your favorite type of yogurt. Your insights help us create better content. Number 1, eating contaminated or expired yogurt, the most dangerous mistake. This is the mistake that can turn a health food into a genuine medical emergency, especially for seniors whose immune systems are more vulnerable. And it's far more common than you might think. Let me explain why expired or improperly stored yogurt poses unique dangers after 65, and why the consequences can be severe, even fatal for some seniors with compromised immunity. After the best bite date on yogurt passes, the probiotic bacteria that make yogurt healthy begin dying off, but other bacteria, potentially harmful ones, can start multiplying. While yogurt's acidic environment generally prevents dangerous bacterial growth, that protection diminishes as the product ages and the pH changes. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that adults over 65 are 4 times more likely to require hospitalization from foodborne illness compared to younger adults, and 5 times more likely to die from it. Your immune system simply doesn't respond as quickly or effectively to bacterial threats. A study from the Journal of Food Protection found that yogurt stored beyond its expiration date, even if refrigerated, showed concerning levels of Escherichia coli, Staphylococcus aureus, and yeast contamination in 38% of samples tested. For healthy younger adults, these might cause mild digestive upset. For seniors, they can trigger serious infections. But here's where the danger intensifies: many seniors are on medications that further suppress immune function: corticosteroids for arthritis or COPD, chemotherapy for cancer, immunosuppressants for autoimmune conditions, or even common medications like PPIs, proton pump inhibitors, for heartburn, which reduce stomach acid that normally kills harmful bacteria. If you're on any immune-suppressing medication and consume contaminated yogurt, even mildly contaminated, you're at significant risk for what's called opportunistic infection. The bacteria that wouldn't harm most people can cause severe illness, sepsis, or even death in immunocompromised seniors. Dr. William Schaffner, infectious disease specialist at Vanderbilt University Medical Center, warns, seniors must be extraordinarily careful with any fermented or cultured dairy product. What seems like a minor food safety lapse can have catastrophic consequences for an 70-year-old on immunosuppressive therapy. Let me share the most critical warning signs that yogurt has gone bad. Visible mold, any mold, even a tiny spot, means the entire container is contaminated. Mold roots, called mycelia, extend deep into food, releasing toxins throughout. Never scrape off mold and eat the rest. The entire container must be discarded immediately. Excessive liquid separation, while some weigh, clear liquid, on top is normal, excessive amounts or yellowish, cloudy liquid indicates bacterial overgrowth and protein breakdown. Off smell. Fresh yogurt has a clean, slightly tangy smell. If it smells yeasty, overly sour, or unpleasant in any way, bacterial contamination has occurred. Unusual texture, yogurt should be smooth and creamy. Slimy, curdled, or grainy texture indicates dangerous bacterial changes. Bulging container, this is the most serious warning. A bulging lid means gas-producing bacteria are multiplying rapidly inside, potentially Clostridium species that can cause severe illness. Now let's discuss proper storage, because this is where many seniors unknowingly create danger. Yogurt must be kept at 40 degrees Fahrenheit 4 degrees Celsius or below at all times. Research shows that temperature fluctuations, like keeping yogurt in the refrigerator door where temperature varies every time you open it, can reduce probiotic viability by 50% and increase harmful bacterial growth. Always store yogurt on a shelf toward the back of the refrigerator where temperature remains most stable. Once opened, yogurt should be consumed within 5 to 7 days, even if the printed expiration date is later. Every time you open the container and introduce a spoon, you're introducing bacteria from your mouth and the environment. A critical but often ignored rule: if yogurt has been left out at room temperature for more than 2 hours, or 1 hour if room temperature exceeds 90 degrees Fahrenheit, throw it away. Period. No exceptions. Bacterial growth accelerates exponentially at room temperature. The USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service found that yogurt left unrefrigerated for just 3 hours can harbor bacterial levels 100 times higher than safe consumption limits. For seniors with specific vulnerabilities, cancer patients, anyone on chemotherapy or immunosuppressants, those with HIV, or recovering from surgery, consider these additional precautions. Only buy yogurt from refrigerated cases, never from ambient shelf displays. Check expiration dates carefully. Choose containers with the furthest date. Discard yogurt 2 to 3 days before the expiration date rather than pushing it to the limit. Consider single-serve containers to avoid repeated opening and contamination. Never consume yogurt if you're unsure how long it's been unrefrigerated. Discuss with your doctor whether yogurt is safe for you at all during immunosuppressive treatment. The tragic truth is that several seniors die each year from severe infections traced back to contaminated dairy products, including yogurt. These deaths are completely preventable through proper food safety practices. If you experience severe vomiting, diarrhea, high fever, bloody stools, or confusion after eating yogurt, seek emergency medical care immediately. For seniors, what starts as food poisoning can rapidly progress to dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, sepsis, and organ failure. This isn't about creating fear. It's about respecting that your body at 65, 70, or 80 operates under different rules. Yogurt offers profound benefits when eaten safely. But safety requires vigilance, proper storage, and honest assessment of expiration dates. Your immune system is precious. Protect it by protecting what you put inside your body. This one practice, strict yogurt safety, could literally save your life. So let's bring these 5 critical discoveries together, because understanding how they interconnect transforms yogurt from a potential danger into genuine daily medicine. The timing mistake, the medication interaction mistake, the temperature mistake, the sugar mistake, and the contamination mistake, each one alone can undermine your health. Together, they explain why some seniors thrive on yogurt while others suffer negative consequences. Here's your complete yogurt safety and optimization protocol. Morning routine: take your medications on an empty stomach as prescribed. Wait 1 to 2 hours. Then eat a small snack, perhaps a handful of nuts or a slice of whole grain toast. 30 minutes later, remove your yogurt from the refrigerator. Let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes to reach room temperature. Choose plain, unsweetened yogurt with live active cultures. Preparation: add your own flavoring, fresh berries, a drizzle of raw honey, ground flaxseed, cinnamon. Mix gently and eat mindfully. Safety check: before eating, inspect the yogurt for any signs of contamination. Check the expiration date. Ensure the container has been properly refrigerated at all times. Here's the timeline of results when you get this right. Week 1 to 2, improved digestion, reduced bloating, more regular bowel movements, less gas and cramping. Week 4 to 6, enhanced immune response, fewer colds and infections, better energy throughout the day, more stable blood sugar if you've eliminated sugar-sweetened varieties. Month 3 plus, noticeable improvements in skin health, mood stability, stronger immunity, potential weight loss if sugar was eliminated, and lab markers showing reduced inflammation. These aren't isolated tips, they're a comprehensive system that honors your aging body's needs. When you eat yogurt at the right time, at the right temperature, with the right ingredients, while avoiding medication interactions and contamination, it becomes one of the most powerful longevity foods in your kitchen. And if you've watched this far, it means you're someone who takes health seriously, who wants to live not just longer, but better, stronger, and more vibrantly. That intention is already healing in itself. In our next video, we'll reveal the 3 morning drinks that naturally lower blood pressure without medication, information your doctor may never have shared. You won't want to miss it. Your body is an intelligent system that responds to the signals you send it. Every meal is a message. Every choice is a conversation with your cells. And yogurt, when consumed with wisdom and care, sends a powerful message of healing, protection, and renewal. These 5 mistakes aren't just problems to avoid, they're opportunities to transform something you probably already eat into targeted nutrition that serves your specific needs after 65. So here's what I want you to do: take one mistake from this list, maybe the sugar content issue, or the timing problem, or the temperature adjustment, and fix it this week. Just one. Watch how your body responds. Feel the difference in your digestion, your energy, your overall sense of well-being. Then come back and tell us about it. Drop a comment with your age and which change made the biggest difference. Your story might be exactly what another senior needs to hear to take their own first step. If this video brought you clarity or maybe even relief, share it with someone you love who's over 65. Knowledge shared is health multiplied. Thank you for trusting Senior Guide with something so important: your health, your future, your peace of mind. We're truly honored. See you in the next video, and until then, stay safe, stay strong, and stay young at heart.